Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Could this be Call of Duty's saving grace, or did Treyarch miss the mark? Let's break it down. What's up guys, it is iGuadarican141 and welcome to Beta Breakdowns, the new series where we take games and betas that I decide to play and break them down into what's good, into what's bad, and if I would recommend buying or getting the game. This video is going to focus on the brand new Call of Duty set to release in October 2018, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. As everyone knows, Treyarch, one of the 3 if not 4 studios that make Call of Duty, I'm pretty sure it's 3, is known for the Black Ops series. They made Black Ops, one of the, if not the most popular Call of Duty game out there. They made Black Ops 2, my personal favorite, Black Ops 3, and now they're making Black Ops 4. And in this video, we're going to break down everything that was good about the beta that I decided to play on PC, what was bad about the beta, what could change, and my overall thoughts of the game, and if I'm going to be getting it or not, and if you guys should get it or not. Now, before I even start, you know, with any and other review, this is all personal opinion, including actually some opinions that I've seen based on the community and other people that have reviewed the game, but most of it is going to be my own personal opinion. And of course, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, so don't hate each other in the comments, don't hate me in the comments, even though I'm pretty sure only 2 of you are watching this video because you guys love me so much and my inactivity doesn't help that. But besides that, let's finally get into this breakdown, and let me tell you guys exactly what I think of Black Ops 4. Now, I'm going to apologize right off the bat for the horrid gameplay in the background. This beta kind of, sort of, not really, it actually did break OBS. This is based because of the instability of the game and of the beta, but that I'll get into when I talk about the negatives of the beta. But first I'm going to talk about the overall feel of the game as soon as I got my hands on it. Overall, I thought it was a good game. It didn't, wow me as much as, let's say, the Black Ops 2 beta did, or Black Ops 3, or if we get away from Black Ops, Advanced Warfare and all these games kind of wowed me. It didn't wow me in that aspect, but it was refreshing to see a boots-on-the-ground game and a more modernistic Call of Duty, if you could call it modernistic. It was refreshing to see a new boots-on-the-ground modernistic COD. But at the same time, some things in the game did feel rehashed and reused, and I'll be covering that later on in the video. But first, we're going to talk about the good of Black Ops 4 and what was good about the beta, in my opinion. First things first, and I'm pretty sure everyone can agree with me, it was boots on the ground. Finally, after so many years of jetpacks and exosuits, even though I love Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare probably being my favorite Call of Duty to date, boots on the ground is finally back, and I gotta say, it felt awesome. Just like it did in Black Ops 2, there was no movement system besides Ruin's Grapple, which allowed you to do some tricky, crazy things all over the place. There was no wall riding whatsoever, and it creates a more level playing field now. We're back to the old, running gun style. You're in front of me, I'm in front of you, you're not going 50 feet in the air kind of thing. And because of that, it wasn't based on verticality anymore. It was more based on, like I said, people in front of you, people to the side of you. You don't have to really be looking up too much unless you're paying attention to the high ground. The next good thing about the Black Ops 4 beta was balanced gunplay. Usually in betas, they don't really focus more on balance. They focus to see if their servers can handle the amount of people that are going to play with regards to balance and stuff like that. But believe it or not, Black Ops 4 was probably the most balanced beta that I've played in terms of Call of Duty to date. Most guns, minus the MX-9 of course, because everyone knew the MX-9 was broken. It will continue to be broken, and I'm pretty sure everyone's going to use that gun. Besides that, pretty much all there was small issues in terms of gunplay, but it felt completely and utterly balanced. Also, in terms of gunplay, the longer time to kill, which people may not know or may know by now, it's 150 hit points instead of 100. It allowed you more time to think and react. A lot of times in Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, and everything after or before that, as soon as you got shot, and as soon as you felt the first impact, you're usually dead unless you were able to turn and kill them with a one-shot gun like a sniper or a shotgun. But now, as soon as you get shot, you have that millisecond to think, okay, am I going to die, or should I slide out of the way, should I turn around, and should I shoot him? So I believe that the longer time to kill, even though to some it might be annoying, it's actually a benefit to this game. And one last thing in terms of gunplay is the lack of gun variants. Now, near and dear to my heart is Advanced Warfare, but everyone knew that game as the Ball of Duty. Why? Because that was the first game to introduce gun variants, and that was one of the only Call of Duties to introduce gun variants that had specific stat boosters to that gun. So everyone used every form of BAL because one BAL would have a faster fire rate, the other BAL would have a stronger penetration, the other BAL would be, light its bullets on fire. But this game didn't have even a loot box system that I saw. So because of that, every gun, let's say it was the ICR versus the ICR, it didn't matter. It would always be down to who used the ICR better, not who had the rare ICR versus the epic ICR. So that was a nice refreshing thing, and I'm praying that loot boxes aren't a thing, and if they are, that they are cosmetic like they were in Infinite Warfare and World War II. Next, and the last thing that I'm going to talk about in the good category, just so I don't spend a good 5 hours here talking about what's good, is the visuals. Now, I was skeptical when I was going into the Black Ops 4 beta because to me, Black Ops and Treyarch, they have a very bright and usually over bright color palette. Black Ops 3 to me was an LSD trip, and by that I mean I swear to God every time I got into game I was popping a molly or something and I was seeing every color on the spectrum because God almighty was Black Ops 3 bright. But luckily Black Ops 4, they learned from their mistake in Black Ops 3 and they toned down the colors a little bit while still being vibrant. It actually reminded me a little bit more of Activision and my personal favorite Sledgehammer's color palette that's a little more toned back, but at the same time kept that Treyarch bright flair that they're known for. So that's really all the good that I'm going to talk about in the video. There are a couple of more things that I could talk about, but those are the things that I wanted to focus on. And now we're going to jump into the bad of Black Ops 4. And when I say there's a lot of bad, I mean personally there is a lot of bad to this game, and it's the reason why I'm not too keen on if I'm going to buy it or not yet. But I'm going to focus on the main things that I feel like a lot of people might agree with. Again, this is all personal preference, so if you don't agree with me, fine by you. You can think the opposite. But the first thing I'm going to talk about, and probably the biggest negative of this game, is that it does, believe it or not, feel like a Black Ops 3.5. Now, why do I say this? Zeke, Guada, whatever you want to call me, you idiot that doesn't upload all the time. Listen, Treyarch is the best Call of Duty ever. Black Ops is the best Call of Duty ever. Don't you dare talk bad about me or my son ever again. Well, listen, alright? I do not believe in the fact that since this is a Black Ops 4, everything should be good about it. Or this is a Black Ops title, everything should be good about it. And I stick by my conviction that this is really feeling like a Black Ops 3.5. Why? If you've played Black Ops 3 before, I'm 100% sure you jumped into this game and it felt familiar all the way down to its core. And why do I say that? The first big red flag is the specialists. So we know Black Ops 4 is a precursor to Black Ops 3. So everything that we see in Black Ops 3, or Black Ops 4 rather, is more of a prototype to what the specialists in Black Ops 3 would become. So everything down to even the weapons, the ultimates, and the character voices, and even the character models were almost exactly, if not exactly the same. The Ruin is exactly the same as the Ruin in Black Ops 3, except the fact that he isn't fully mechanical and he doesn't have 2 gravity spikes, he just has 1 prototype gravity spike. The chick that with the Zarya haircut that uses the noob tube looks exactly the same in Black Ops 4 as she does in Black Ops 3 with the same voice actor. Even my favorite specialist of all time, which was Prophet, looks exactly the same except the fact that he's not fully modded up. He still has his dreads going on, but the Tempest is exactly the same. And that's why I feel that this game, down to its core, is pretty much a Black Ops 3.5. Even some of the guns, the way they felt and the way they shot and the way they sounded in terms of, you know, sound cues and stuff like that, screamed Black Ops 3. And personally, it felt cheaped out. And, you know, I feel as if you play Black Ops 3 before, you're not going to get the full effect or the full wow factor that Black Ops 4 is trying to leave. And if you dodge the bullet that is the mistake of Black Ops 3, then you're fine. You should be able to enjoy this because you probably didn't really get so close to the specialists and stuff like that like I did. Next, which you can see in this video, unless I switch to Black Ops 3 gameplay by now, is the instability. Now, this could be beta specific. I don't know how the console betas played because of the fact that I didn't get my hands on a console key, because I did not dare. This is the first Call of Duty ever that I did not pre-order as soon as it was announced. So I didn't get a beta key. None of my friends pre-ordered it because they're on the same boat as me. So luckily I have a good PC and I decided to play it on PC. But some of the things that I heard in other reviews and some of the things that I saw in other reviews was the fact that there was instability. Mainly one of the big things was during gunfights. A lot of times in gunfights, whether direct or indirect, whether you're facing the person you're shooting or getting shot by someone, the frames would drop. And as a person, or just as a gamer in general, you know that lag and FPS is what makes us violent. Usually violence is a good thing in these games because that's what you're trying to do. But when you don't even have the time to react or the ability to be able to turn around without seeing 50 million frames disappear from your line of sight, then, you know, it kind of gets annoying. And on top of that, one of the big things that's actually new to Black Ops 4, that's specific to Black Ops 4, is the flinch mechanic that they brought back. Well, what they did was every time you get shot, the initial shot darkens your screen, and any shot that impacts you darkens your screen and blurs it. And to me personally, I didn't see it as much, and that's because of the fact that, you know, with the 144 hertz monitor, the refresh rate was awesome. But probably on console it wasn't the same, unless you're playing on like a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X. And that also connects to the fact that gunplay could probably be thrown off because of this darkening of whatever this is. We'll call it flinch for the matter. So I feel like that was also a negative as well. I feel like they could fix that just by toning down the amount of flinch that they add when you get shot. And one last thing that has to do with the instability is they promised true 60 FPS, or at least that's what I read and heard. And on a PC that can easily cap out at 300, 400 FPS, I was kind of playing at 60 FPS, but you can see in the background that it was a rough beta. And I'm pretty sure on console, unless you were running a 1X or a Pro, you were not getting true 60 FPS. Next, and one of the biggest personal negatives, to myself specifically, and maybe the 1% that enjoys it, is the fact that there's no campaign. And this hurts. This hurts a little bit in myself, and this hurts probably for people that have been a long time Black Ops fan. Because Treyarch mastered the art of storytelling. They mastered the art of engaging the player in a certain story and making them connect to these characters so profoundly. So we were always excited for a Treyarch story. Everyone knows who Mason is. Everyone knows the Mason family. Everyone knows Woods. Everyone remembers Harper and having to kill him. And that was just in Black Ops 2. Unless you didn't kill him, then sucks to be you. But my point is that Treyarch knew how to tell a story. And not having a story, like a dedicated campaign in Black Ops 4, in my opinion, is going to hurt it, and hurt it beyond all belief. Yes, they said that there was going to be specialist-specific stories. You know, you have to play the background of the Ruin, play the background of the Prophet, and they're supposed to connect into one big story. But I feel like that's going to pale in comparison to a true dedicated campaign. How did the Frozen Forest come to be? How and what happened to Black Ops as they upgraded? We'll never know, most likely, unless they really dive into it. But having to play a story for each and every specialist might sound great, but I just feel like it's not going to be enough to fulfill people like me who really love campaign. And last but not least, even though I said this was a positive, I also think it is a negative, is the movement system. Now, yes, it is boots on the ground, but the movement does mimic Black Ops 3. And what do I mean by that? Guada, there's no jetpacks, there's no wall running, what are you talking about? There's no teleporting. How can it possibly feel like Black Ops 3? Well, there was something in Black Ops 2 that everyone loved, and it was the dolphin dive. And that to me would have been perfect for this game, even though they really wanted it to be fast paced. Because the slide is making it feel like Black Ops 3. And why do I say that? In Advanced Warfare, they introduced, or not even in Advanced Warfare, if we track back to Ghosts, the Call of Duty that everyone hates that I actually love, they brought in the slide mechanic. And a lot of people were like, okay, this seems cool. But as the Call of Duties progressed, the slide got more and more advanced, to the point where the movement of slide jumping became a thing. And I'm pretty sure you noticed it. Sadly, I didn't have my second game, or my second day of beta gameplay, because I did it a lot the second day of beta gameplay. Slide jumping is very, very, very much there in Black Ops 4. And it gets kind of annoying sometimes, where instead of just running straight boots on the ground like you did in Black Ops 2, or you dolphin dive to get a little bit extra distance, everyone and anyone is slide jumping to get from point A to point B. Barely do you ever see someone sprinting in a straight line because you're just slower than the people that slide jump. And there's no loss in momentum like there was in Ghosts, where you could slide jump, maybe slide again, and then you would have to stop or else you're not going anywhere and you would just prone. There's no loss in momentum. And because of that, a lot of people were abusing it and engaging in gunfights by sliding in, which makes sense if you were to slide around a corner and then get up, but they would slide, then jump, and then sit there and pretend they're in Fortnite and just jump, 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 and slide whenever they could. And it kind of got annoying. It felt like what a lot of people would refer to as Advanced Warfare syndrome, where a lot of people, as soon as they were getting shot in Advanced Warfare, would double jump with the exosuit to get out of the way. And that's what it felt like in a lot of engagements. And as a person who snipes, and I'm not talking about quickscoping, I'm talking about actually sniping, having Mexican jumping beans was the most annoying thing ever. And in terms of the jump and the jump alone, a lot of the jumps felt kind of inhuman, kind of unhuman. And what do I mean by that? A lot of the walls in Black Ops 4, a lot of the walls you can clamber over and climb, were well over 6 feet tall. And a human can't jump that high. But because of the movement system and the fact that they really want this game to be fast paced, you're able to jump, like from a standstill, jump and climb over these walls like it's nothing. So again, that added on to the feel of, okay, how are these people jumping so high if this is supposed to be a boots on the ground kind of game? And that's how I felt in terms of the movement. You know, they might have to tone it down a bit and stuff like that. Now, a couple of things they could do to change after the beta, in my opinion. First thing first is to rework the movement system. I know it's probably too late in the game to do that, but you know, if you tone down the slide distance and you tone down the momentum that's given with the slide or with the jump and whatnot, I feel like it'll feel more like a Black Ops 2 game versus just a toned down Black Ops 3. Another thing I would say, even though it's way too late for this, is if they would have put a campaign in the game, players like myself would have been sold on the game immediately, because I would have just been excited to dive into the story day one. And lastly, I can't really say anything yet because we haven't gotten our hands on the beta. Blackout seems awesome, but I feel like that's really the last chance for a lot of people that haven't decided on the game or not if Blackout is good. I'm pretty sure a lot of us, myself included, are going to be jumping on the bandwagon and buying this game. But if it misses, then, you know, this might be the first Call of Duty ever that I decide not to buy right off the bat. Maybe wait a year or two in order for it to die down and I can play it off the hype train. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Black Ops fans of all ages, that was the first beta breakdown of this channel. You can expect so much more beta breakdowns in the future. Of course, they're not only going to be strictly betas. I'm just calling it this because why not? It rhymes, you know. If it rhymes, it's for the views. And what do you guys think about Black Ops 4? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know on Twitter, what did you guys think of Black Ops 4, whether watching my gameplay, and if you watched it, I swear to God something's wrong with you if you were able to actually decipher what's going on the screen. And let me know, are you going to buy it or not? Because I feel like the community is torn down the middle of if they're going to buy it or not. A lot of people are done with Call of Duty. They're done. It's over. They gave up after, you know, Ghosts, let's say. A lot of people are still hanging on tightly, especially since this is a Treyarch title. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And as always, like, subscribe, and share. It's always appreciated. Until next time, guys, this is Guada Rican 141 saying, march on. See you guys later.
We're winning this. Losing Charlie. Be secure. We lost C. Taking A. Alpha locked down. Losing B. Our tag deploy beacon has been destroyed. Enemy UAV above.
Deleted recon.
Be advised, hostile tag deploy beacon active.
Tempest safely disengaged.
Losing B.
Assault pack right here. Threat clear. There they are.
Lost Bravo. Taking Bravo.
We've got inspired science in action.
UAV standing by.
UAV established overhead. UAV perimeter established. Angels 10. Losing Alpha. Taking C. Securing B. Charlie locked down.
Hellstorm kill.
All locations secured. Hold your positions.
C command activated.
Losing Charlie.
Seraph dropped.
Enemy took C. Securing C. All locations locked down. Dig in and hold them. Losing A. Losing B. We lost A. We lost B. Securing A. It's as good as ours. Finish strong. A secure. Losing C.
Establish
Enemy has Charlie.
Appears EKIA.
Bravo secure.
Dead.
Mission objectives green across the board.
Tactical reinforcement available.
That's a kill.